going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, and we are here to preview WWE's early birthday present to me, aka AAA Guerra de Titan 2025. And that's Jake fucking DeMarco. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, my friend? We are currently in the thick of it. We are here at the end of the year, where typically we would be, if I do not say to be a bit remiss, bored out of our skulls. And we'd usually be missing quite a bit, honestly. Thankfully, that's not the case. We've had some exciting revelations, and now there's going to
we had a retirement for John Cena that everybody was totally okay with.
Right? No problems there whatsoever. Not one bit of controversy.
We will talk about the path ahead of us because as I said before we started recording, I think you and I are going to have a little bit of a friendly debate, but either fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, there are two quick things we need to hit on from NXT last night before we get into tonight's proceedings. Let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Because it is incredible. I mean, we got basically wrestling every day of the week coming up. We're going to have, the live debut on AMC of TNA. Like, that's TNA, massive. Now we've got this announcement. Like, it just keeps getting
We do have the, you posted about the AAA announcement, and I don't fully get the entire announcement. So why don't you tell me like I don't know, because there might be people out there that don't know.
So they've made it clear now. AAA is on Fox in January is going to be airing, and I'm waiting to hear a bit more details from what I'm reading.
Like a weekly show you're talking about.
Yes. So it's going to be, I guess, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. is what I was hearing. But then that was their original time, so they were kind of switching things around. So we'll see what happens on Guerra de Titan, but we'll see what goes from there.
Make bigger announcements, and they will. Whatever the announcements are, we will get them in English. And I'm not saying that to take the piss out of anybody, but the last one we watched, it was only in Spanish, which was kind of an interesting experience for me. Big surprise to absolutely nobody. I don't speak Spanish, but there was another pay-per-view also going on at the time. So I was listening to our friends at the Wrestling for Life Network talking about a AEW show that I didn't really care about. And then we saw all of this, and then we got the teases of a bunch of things. But it's kind of like, pro wrestling is the universal language is one of those creepy, like nebulous things that people say. It's like, well, you got two people fighting. You shouldn't really need people to tell you what's going on. And you kind of get, Laredo Kid is on commentary. The people that are in the ring are fighting for a chance to fight him. Didn't realize that there was going to be two contenders. We will touch on that when we get there. But it's not a horrible experience.
No.
It's really, really not. But I do want to touch on really, really quickly, like I say, rip it off like a Band-Aid. One really, really positive thing. So I'll go through the negative thing first.
The negative is Psycho Clown's birthday.
Is it really?
It is. Actually, it
fantastic.
Was. So happy belated or actual birthday, Dave. But yes, sir.
Fantastic. So the botch. We need to talk about the botch.
Yeah, apparently that was close to the end of the match as well. It was ending right after her comeback. She was going to get taken out, and that would be it. So
Thea Hale, Blake Monroe for the North American Women's Championship was not supposed to go down that way. Thea Hale was not supposed to become the brand new champion. Everybody sort of lost their head backstage. They quickly did some pre-tapes in the back to follow up on that because they've done taped episodes, so they may have taped up follow-up to her not successfully becoming the new champion. So they're doing some rejigging in the back and whatever. It's funny because I don't have any defense for it. And at the same time, I don't think it really needs any defense. I'm really kind of throwing it under the category of shit happens.
Yes.
Accidental good news for Thea Hale because she looked like she was, being a salesperson for all of the coffee in the back when she's doing her whole promo about, see these side plates? Well, they're not my side plates yet, but they're going to be my side plates. It's going to have my name on it because I'm the new champion. I can't believe it.
Like she was just so rapid fire. So she knocked the wind out of poor Blake Monroe. I remember a young and chubby Jake, 8 years old, soon to be 9, leaving my good friend Joe's house. And funny enough, Joe Jasinski, and I'm on his bike, and I'm gonna ride. No, my bike. I'm gonna ride home from his house, but I've got my pillow with me because I slept over, filled with all the shit that I brought over for the sleepover. And his mom's like, "You sure don't want to ride?" And I'm like, "No, it's not far. I'm on the bike." She's like, "All right." And as soon as I said, "All right," I started to roll forward, and the pillow caught in the spoke, and I went over the handlebars and went to the ground and did a flat back bump. And never have I ever knocked the wind out of myself before, but I remember that so distinctly for like 30 seconds, not being able to move, get air, breathe. And
you did it to yourself. You didn't have and I'm not applying blame here, but it wasn't somebody else doing it to you.
Exactly. So I know in that moment, like, you can't talk, you can't really move. It's just empty. And it's a very painful, weird feeling that I've had many times. I've knocked the wind out of myself quite a few times, but it's funny how like that initial experience stuck with me is so strong, is such an imprinted memory. And seeing this brought that back flooding out of me. And I was like, wow, I remember that so vividly. And you could see that Thea she came off the ropes with that kind of, senton trust fall that she does so chaotically. And she was a little bit long because she was supposed to get put in a roll up there.
Tell you what, when Thea Hale's got a match, she's not the only one that's a little bit long.
What? Right? Hey, yeah.
But you know what it is? And we complain all the time about like how in a situation like that, the referee ends up looking stupid because they don't know what to do, whatever. The referee did what they were supposed to do. They, call it as you see it, treat it like a work and whatever. And the referee did that. What's her name? Blake Monroe looking pissed after the match.
Yes. Was by design.
You couldn't get a more genuine reaction though if it was actually a mistake.
That's what I'm saying. Like, by design, it would be perfect, but knowing that it was spontaneous. Oh,
yeah.
Blake, you're so good at what you do. That's why I appreciated this. Because
but this is why I'm saying, like, the kind of fluke. Like, they're kind of doing the same thing on Raw right now with Maxine Dupree getting the title off Becky Lynch and now going forward with the Natty stuff that's getting mixed reviews. But like Maxine Dupree as the, oh my God, how did I get here? I'm not good enough for this. How did I get this title? Oh my God, did that really happen?
Yeah.
You got that in real time from somebody who did not go into that ring that day thinking they were walking out with a belt for real. And somebody who genuinely was supposed to leave with the belt feeling that genuine what the fuck just happened. So they sold a fluke because it wasn't supposed to happen. And am I going to say, oh, the botch didn't happen? No, like, the botch happened. Like, there's no people that are trying to work their way around it. Oh, you guys have been worked. And it's like, no, we see what happened. But it's NXT.
Yes.
Thea Hale's relatively new. And what can we expect from anybody coming from AEW? Just saying.
Right. But no, Thea Hale really has ingratiated herself with fans above all else. She has been there with Chase U and everything for so long. She's been on this like mini ascension where she hasn't really gotten to an elevated plane of existence, but she is in the fans' minds and hearts. And that's a very precarious place to be for too long, because eventually that cliff gets very narrow and you fall if you don't ascend. And here's the thing with her, that they were able to make this feel genuine. And dare I say to you, sir, what botch? I didn't see a botch. I saw a referee count to 3 like they're supposed to.
Oh, the referee did. No, but this is what I'm saying. Like, as far as like they didn't get to they didn't get to the ending the way they were supposed to. No. So I'm going to try and I'm going to put the NXT bias aside for a second and say, yes, it is a botch in the sense that it didn't go to plan. Counterpoint, it's not the end of the world, and they can do a lot with it.
People are saying I'm defending it because it's not AEW, but here's the thing. There is a difference between NXT and AEW, and I'm going to point it out here. Simply, we just saw this happen in AEW a few weeks ago, and the controversy was, I say, rather severe around it. People were upset because Shelton had the win over Speedball Mike Bailey. Bailey, they called an audible, they told the ref, and the ref stopped counting, and the fans booed and ripped into it, and you fucked up and all that. We didn't get that last night. There was no you fucked up. There was no bullshit.
But it's also the ability to
won, but like that helps. But granted, like the chaos of it all certainly added to it.
but there's also a little bit of it of like, how long is the pause? Like, we had the thing on SmackDown a while ago where the referee just stopped counting, and Daphne LaShawn came under like ridiculous, like inappropriate
levels
criticism
of
after the fact. Like, it was like, hey, we fucked up, we all try, let's get up tomorrow and try again type stuff. She's super positive. If you follow her on socials, she's super positive.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
look at the shit she got for that. But that was a case where everybody kind of froze in place. This, they kind of went with it, and it's like, okay, we counted the 3 because the 3 was the 3. The reactions afterwards were genuine, and then slowly everybody started figuring out what they were going to do. The comparison I'm going to give you, because I know we haven't talked since Saturday night's main event. It's way too late to do a review of that, but the slip up by AJ Styles, and people are debating whether it was a slip up or not. But if it was a slip up, and Leon Slater, who's not necessarily a rookie by any stretch of the imagination, but his instinct to be like, okay, that's my opponent. If he falls off the ropes, I would at least go for a pinfall attempt.
Exactly.
And the couple of seconds it took to go for that pinfall attempt gave everybody enough of a second, enough of a reset. I'm sure in the pinfall attempt, there was some version of a, hey, are you okay type thing, and you carry on. Like, I don't necessarily, and it is a get out of jail free card, but I think it's an appropriate one. I don't expect that immediacy from an NXT thing. So it's almost cool to see them fuck up, pick up, carry on.
Yes. And
so I don't think
this also has like a lot of ramifications for it too. So,
oh yeah, like you can, like, she's going to do the tortured character, and everybody's like, oh, she's, ripping off, Tony Storm, whatever. She's doing her. She's just doing.
It's been her. She was her before Tony went to the. You know what I mean? Like, people forget that as well. So,
but I just think that, like, everything right down to the entrance that they did with Adam Copeland, and it's like, you really want to talk about copycats? Are we doing this?
They went ahead and went through a weird spot there. But what I really love about all this is that there's no heat on anyone involved. It's not like they said the ref did wrong. Because typically the first thing I saw from fans' mouths, at least the detractors anyways, was who's going to get blamed for this one? Is it Thea? Is it Blake? Is it the ref? But this is what I want from my wrestling. You can't kick out. You get a 3 count. There's a title change. Look at the time Nakamura.
Here's one I'll give you. Here's one I'll give you, right? There's a clip going around today, and I don't know whether it's from this Monday Night Raw or from a previous Monday Night Raw, but it's some fan footage of a Nikki Bella attack on Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel Rodriguez hits the steps. Sorry, excuse me.
Badly.
And she she not only does she hit the steps badly, but she comes up and there's a golf ball on her head.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody's like, going after, and this is me. I'm no Nikki Bella fan, right? But she didn't want that. And the response was, yeah, but if it was Nia Jax, she'd be catching shit for it. It's like, okay, yeah, does Nikki Bella have a bit of a shield? Yes. But if Nia Jax did it and Nia Jax got shit, that wouldn't be right either, because nobody went in attempting to do that. Nia Jax all those years ago might have been reckless, but she didn't go into that ring in that big melee, intending to break what's her name, Becky Lynch's nose.
No.
Now, was it really cool? Did Becky Lynch own it? Did it help the man character? But again, that's something happened and we rolled with it. And that's
and because it was a major setback at that point in time with the Rousey match and being replaced. And that's the thing here. Like, they're not having that here. They're able to work with it. They're not. But there is
and
I don't
want to treat NXT
too.
like, I don't want to treat NXT like, oh, we got to treat them with kid gloves or whatever. But like, you expect that response more on the main roster from somebody like a Becky Lynch than you do from people that are in some senses, developmental.
Exactly. Like, AEW prides themselves on not being developmental, yet they do the developmental shit and then come down on NXT for it.
My favorite thing to see in all of wrestling is when people finally get their call up from AEW. Moving swiftly on.
And R-Truth did this, and it was like right in the middle of a roll up. They count to 3, and then R-Truth got up and like did his heel kick because they didn't even know it was over. And they had to. That's when he was with Carmelo. They turned the title over. I still remember that. The thing with this though is that it put a lot of, I guess, plans into issue because.
Yeah.
They had a lot
this
of
is why
things
I'm
going
saying
forward, and things already
this is why I'm
taped.
saying we can't pretend that there's not a botch, and we can't pretend that there's not
Yes.
a lot of cope happening backstage. So I don't, at the same time as I'm saying it's not the end of the world, I want to be clear to anybody listening. I'm not saying there wasn't a fuck up, because there
Exactly.
clearly was.
There was a major
But it's
fuck up
not the end
here.
of the world.
No.
And sometimes things fall in your lap. Like the Becky Lynch breaking her nose thing fell in their lap, and it elevated her, and it gave her like a rival for life almost. Like you could tune into Raw next week and find out that Becky Lynch versus Nia Jax has been booked, and you wouldn't be surprised, and you would
No.
immediately go back to that
Thea Hale
history
is
and
going to
whatever.
get to defend the title at New Year's Evil. That's massive for her. Apparently, that's not set in stone yet, but that is essentially what's happening. The referees are instructed to count the pins as legitimate. He had no choice. And Blake had the wind knocked out of her, couldn't kick out. Here's the thing, though. The only thing it did 100% change is now backstage, you are not allowed to leave tapings until they are concluded now, even if your segment is done, because if anything happens like this, they needed a few other people to fix things because of the tapings that already happened next week.
Which is a pretty fair thing anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I know they're pre-taping stuff for the holiday season, so that might be a lot of block taping and all that kind of thing. But sometimes shit happens, and hey, we had a really good segment already done up. Okay, but now it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So now you got to fix it.
And I do want to clarify, we were discussing earlier, because I was waiting for confirmation, because I knew the deal wasn't direct in the United States because they're continuing with YouTube for that partnership for free for now. But this is putting them on Fox, on Tubi, on regular Fox, on Fox 1 for Mexico, Central, and South America, as well as Bola Tomovil. Regardless, they're going to be on every major Fox channel, every major Fox pay TV channel, Tubi free with ads, Fox One and Fox subscription-based streaming services. Rey Mysterio has called the new deal a full circle moment for AAA, and how this deal, beginning January 17th, marks the first major crossover moments in WWE's acquisition of AAA. And so they're going to be airing live from Mexico City, January 17th, that Saturday, on both Fox and YouTube for the United States. But here's the thing. Fox will be their new media home for AAA across all of the, everywhere but Brazil, I guess. And the schedule has a huge bang in front of it. So massive shows like Triple Mania will be accessible through the Fox stuff, as I mentioned. And then they'll have broadcasting again in America. But this is going to be big. They have a lot of plans with them going forward. And this is a massive deal because CMLL was more featured than anybody over there. And now we're seeing this be not the case.
Well, you hook up with the other company, or you hook up with the big company. Like the connections are a thing. Apparently, like we're going to talk about the TNA deal in a second when I get to January. But apparently, like starting this week, people who have AMC Plus, even though it's still on the old Access TV, they're simulcasting it on the AMC Plus app starting this week.
Yeah.
which is pretty cool. I mean, it's probably a tester if nothing else. They haven't changed the time slot or anything.
No,
they're not giving it that new Thursday Night Impact branding. But quickly before we get into this, because we're going to talk about January in a second, the other thing I want to touch on from last night: if you doubted before that the machine is behind Chelsea Green and Ethan Page as an act, let me point out to you that after last night, they are defending their tag titles at some point against Stax and Ariana Grace. Ethan Page is defending his NXT North American Championship against TNA star Moose.
Yeah.
And Chelsea Green is coming down to NXT, as much as I hate that terminology, to defend her title against the one that got the big win on Saturday night's main event, Sol Ruca. So they are both being treated with the responsibility of being double champions because they have a challenger for those tag titles, and each one of them has a challenger for those individual titles. Chelsea is plucked from her SmackDown home to come and defend her title in NXT. Ethan Page has an NXT title that he now has to defend against a TNA star because that TNA star is mad that an NXT star has their international title, that international champion and his girlfriend want their tag titles.
They want the smoke.
So they are everywhere. So I just want to say, and it's not just a hoorah, but like Team Canada getting all the love in WWE as we close out 2025.
No doubt about it. So,
I mean it goes without saying, and it's not exactly surprising.
Narcissism kills, my friend, and we're only seeing, the best of it going forward. We're getting a lot of nice little advancements, and people.
Well, we're
people
getting,
are,
spoiler alert. That's not really a spoiler alert. We're getting MJF back tonight, and we got Bianca Belair back on Monday, which is actually happening Friday. So if we're gonna talk about narcissism, it's running wild, brother. It's a bummer because I like MJF, and even I was like, oh, he's back, okay.
And
because they've watered. I don't know what to say, and I don't want to criticize AEW completely because I want to keep this a relatively positive podcast. I don't know what they've done with MJF, but partially that's because he hasn't been around and he's been doing movie stuff, and good for him.
He's not there.
I do want to say it was kind of cool. I don't have the quotes in front of me, but they were interviewing Kyle Fletcher about how his rise is going recently, and how he is on the mic, and he's really weird on the mic, and he was effusive in his praise of the Miz, talking about who his inspirations are as far as speaking pattern, promo pattern, like just getting in there with both hands and being like the dickhead character. And he was very, very, very deep and delicious with his praise of the Miz and how much that has influenced his promo game. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because while the companies, both sides, let's be fair, while the companies are throwing mud at each other, the individual respects being thrown back and forth, the tributes to John Cena from guys like Edge and Samoa Joe and all that kind of thing. It's really nice to see. And I'm biased. We're biased. Miz is one of those guys that hardly ever gets the credit he deserves for being exactly what he needs to be, because what he needs to be isn't like the guy at the top of the card, at the top of the marquee. He fits a very particular role. We talk about him. We talk about Ziggler. We talk about Kaz in TNA. And that role in a company is very, very hard to get credit for. So somebody who's having a year and a couple of years and a rise like Kyle Fletcher is having, to give that credit back to the Miz, I thought was really cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now, we don't agree on everything, you and me.
No.
You and I talk throughout the day because I'm usually bored at work and usually thinking about what we're going to talk on the pod. We usually try to match up and say, are we doing it at 6:30 or 6:45 and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
And the other day when I said, hey, we got to talk about February, and I was saying it in a really excited way, and your response to me was, yeah, it feels like there's no need to tune into anything until the Rumble. And my response to you was, oh, we disagree. That's going to be fun.
That's going to be great.
Now, here's the thing. There's something that AEW and NXT specifically are super guilty of, and they both do it way too much, but it does have a purpose. You take a regular, everyday, run-of-the-mill episode, you put a different title on it, you put a different focus on it, you put a different spin on it, you try to boost it up as maybe being more than it is, whether it's an anniversary, whether it's this special show, that super duper show, whatever.
Yeah, they all get some crazy tagline, and
it'll get a crazy tagline, or it'll get a special name. Gold Rush used to be one of those before they decided to make it an actual event. They do Winter is Coming in AEW.
Oh,
and I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be fair here. Yeah, Frosty the Snowman just ejaculated and it hit me in the face. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I shouldn't have said that. But here's the thing. My point being, you do a special event like that, or you at least tell people that it's a special event, and there's three ways to go with it. Either it can be awesome for one night because you've given them an excuse to be awesome for a night. It can be an actual turning point and something changes going forward, which is ideal. Or it can crash so catastrophically because they tried to do something bad and failed. Three categories. Pretty easy way to look at it. You can be awesome for one night. You can be awesome and make a change going forward, or you can fall on your face, but in a more spectacular way than usual, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going to read you off some dates This is how I'm going to read you the whole list here.
Dun, dun, dun.
Because everything be special and special things be special.
Yes. Hit me.
And these are all, they'll be great, they'll set a new tone, or they'll fall on their face. And in any way, shape, or form, I'm excited for all of them. And it's, what is it? 1, 2, 4, 7. 7 dates just in January, from the 2nd to the 31st. January 2nd, SmackDown goes back to 3 hours.
Yes.
January 5th, the Raw Netflix anniversary already announced for that show, Punk versus Breaker and the Kabuki Warriors defending against Ripley and Io Sky. Tuesday, January 6th, because that's not foreboding at all. NXT New Year's Evil with JC defending against Kendall and Oba defending against TNA's Leon Slater.
We'll call it an insurrection.
There we go. January 15th, the TNA Impact Thursday Night Impact debut on AMC. Saturday, January 17th, TNA Genesis already announced Santana versus Kaz for the world title and JDC's last match against Eddie Edwards. We've got Saturday night's main event in Montreal on the 24th, and then we've got the Royal Rumble in Saudi on the 31st. So you'll excuse me, my friend, my good friend, my compadre, my brother from another mother, my co-hostest with the mostest. We can all sleep until the Rumble?
The only thing I feel like that's going to have probably anything truly of note that shapes the future for both Stand Deliver WrestleMania, you could say anything of note would likely be the January 5th Netflix show. Besides that, they're making it into a PLE since they don't have, day one or anything of that form going on immediately until the Rumble. So they're basically turning that show into their PLE, which I don't hate.
And last year, a lot of people hated on it. I'm not quite sure why. They were in that weird building that's lit up all weird with the seat lights and stuff. That super high-tech building that they've been back to, and I don't see it as a plus.
The Intuit Dome?
But that's just me. Yeah, I don't. It's not a bad building, but all the extra that they do is just extra.
Yes. And the problem is that, they're a sellout, but anytime people aren't in their seats, it's really, really noticeable because of the lights in their seats. So it makes it look less
depending on how they light
full.
the seats, it makes the seats that even have people in them look like there's nobody in them sometimes.
Yeah, it makes it look like empty entirely. So
here's my thing. 3-hour SmackDown starts on January 2nd. I know a lot of people are groaning about that. If you're groaning about that, don't watch.
It's getting back into a good thing because it got terrible since it went to 2 hours feasibly. They forgot, and like you always said, if you could book 2, you could book 3. Well, they can't book 2 right now because they don't have enough time. And we lost a lot of what made SmackDown stand out, stand apart, or stand up for itself. The tag division, the mid-card women's feuds, like all of these things that we had that we really enjoyed to tune into SmackDown for that wasn't on Raw. It's like,
I think they're not going to wait until I think they're not going to wait until after Mania for the call-ups. I think we're going to get a dump of call-ups on that January 2nd show.
Yes, we're getting quite a few.
I'm still predicting we get a faction out of Trick Mello and Kalani Jordan. Sol Ruka's probably coming up, especially if she beats Chelsea Green for the US title. That's a thing that could happen. Trick is coming up. Kalani might. Kalani, Trick, and Mello being a faction to take on The Way is just my own fantasy booking.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of the dump that we're going to get, and I mean dump in a positive way, from NXT, possibly Jordan Grace as well. I think you put Jordan Grace on SmackDown, leave Rhea Ripley on Raw, and then tease it out like 6 months down the line. We get Jordan Grace versus Rhea Ripley. The Netflix anniversary already has Punk Breaker. Breaker's getting amazing on the microphone, and Punk is turning into a dickhead. I like it. Kabuki Warriors versus Ripley and Io. It keeps Ripley on the TV without her being in the world title picture. So we only get half as many Rhea Hogan stuff. New Year's Evil is always kind of fun. It's not really we're going to do stuff on the night, but it is here's your first step towards Vengeance Day, which is your ultimate step towards Stand and Deliver, oi, oi, oi. The TNA Impact debut on AMC is going to be big. I don't know how, but they're debuting that Thursday, and then they're running their first pay-per-view 2 days later. So it has to serve the dual purpose of we're debuting on AMC. We're now in a different time slot. This is what Thursday Night Impact on AMC looks like. Oh, and by the way, there's a pay-per-view in 2 days.
Yes.
Genesis itself, Santana versus Kaz is just going to be Santana getting his belt back because Kaz is an in-betweener. Happy that he got the world title. But he's an in-betweener. Santana's, especially now with the AMC deal, I think TNA is going to double down their efforts to keep Santana because I'm pretty sure the dub is calling as well.
Seems that way.
A lot of people dunk on Fandango, but his last match before he retires is worth taking a look at. And he's just said, I'm going to have a match with my buddy. Saturday night's main event is, I want to say up here, but kind of up here and over because it's in Montreal. I'm assuming there will be something Sami Zayn or potentially Kevin Owens centric on that show. And let me tell you something, right? Not everything that you look forward to is good. Sometimes you look forward to a car crash. Sometimes you look forward to the fights that you know are happening.
Yes.
Sometimes you look forward to people crashing out. I'm watching people crash out about the Netflix Warner Brothers thing that was confirmed today. It's a lot of fun.
Which is very interesting. So
it's very interesting. It's very nice. But I mean, if you look at what's going on in the real world right now, that's the least of our problems. But
yeah, least
here's the thing.
Anyways.
As far as conversation, debate, conflict, difference of opinion, whatever, on any given year, one of the most anticipated and criticized after the fact because of all the elements going into it, pay-per-views, is the Royal Rumble.
Absolutely.
There's people out there, and I buy it a lot of times, that look forward to the Royal Rumble more than they look forward to WrestleMania. Because the Royal Rumble is such a unique thing. It's such a unique part of, like, not just the WWE.
I'm usually one of them because I enjoy the Rumble more. That's usually my favorite pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
At least it was in one.
Even if you're not specifically a WWE fan, even if you're like us and we're watching NXT, we're watching some TNA, and unfortunately we watch some AEW every now and then. Like, Royal Rumble is part of the wrestling calendar.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a WWE thing, but I think it goes beyond WWE. I don't think I'm going too out of line saying that. But with that being said, there's, instead of 2 opinions in a ring or 2 fan bases or whatever, there's 30 different fan bases all jockeying for a spot that thinks that their guy should be the thing, and this shouldn't have been that, and how come this person was only in for 5 minutes. So it is the most under the microscope pay-per-view of the year anyway,
because everybody has their favorites, like you said. So,
and now combine that with the Saudi pay-per-view conversation.
Yes.
I think the show is going to be the show. Like, everybody's like, as soon as the show starts, people are going to get over the Saudi thing like they do all the time. The people that say that they're going to watch are going to watch. The people that say that they aren't going to watch, 50% of them are going to watch anyway. And once the show actually starts, you'll be bitching that you didn't get the result you wanted on the show.
Exactly.
All the puffing your chests at this point about the Saudi stuff. I'm not saying people aren't entitled to their opinion, but it's all big chest puffing and bluster until the show actually starts, and then you're bitching about the show.
Exactly.
And I mean, look at this year when they made the WrestleMania announcement. It was Bianca Belair who grabbed that microphone and said how, like, positive and progressive and female forward this movement in Saudi Arabia has been.
Yeah, and
so
how
I don't
this
know what
is a
everybody's
great
complaining
thing.
about.
This is a positive movement going forward.
Man,
why
they
are you
put her in the firing line.
They let us drive now. What are you talking about?
I showed my ankle once.
Right?
I don't have an ankle anymore.
No.
Oh, by the way,
but
you know, freaking speaking of not having an ankle,
trash bags to the ring, but
speaking of not having an ankle, I watched the movie The Long Walk yesterday.
Ooh.
Holy Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5,000 miles later.
If you don't want to have a good time, watch The Long Walk. Thanks for that, Stephen King. I'm going to go back to watch Derry just to cheer up.
Right.
Derry's really good.
On for a little fun and watching afterwards.
Yeah. Fucking Welcome to Derry is really fucking good. Watch it. I'm telling everybody, watch it. It's really fucking good. Renewed for 2 more seasons.
Ooh,
gotta love it. Alongside Stranger Things as well.
I'm waiting for that to conclude so I could just finish it all at once.
Have you not watched any of it?
I've not watched this season's worth. Yeah, I'm.
Oh, okay. Are you gonna do the finale in the theater?
No, as much as I'd like to, but it's certainly a really cool option. I like that that's something that's being embraced more, like, especially because not just like, oh, it's the big screen, but it's the camaraderie of all those people together screaming, yelling, a la Avengers. Like, that's what makes
it's like I've never gone to. They do it here, or they used to do it around here anyway, where you had the option to go watch WWE pay-per-views in the theater. I've never done it because normally I'm either doing some streaming stuff or I have some people or whatever the case may be. But it does look like a lot of fun.
Yes. I mean, those type of events are great just to have a combination of people together. You know, it's like I totally get what they're going
The Stranger
for.
Things, they already, before they started releasing tickets for that final episode in the theater, they announced that the final episode is like 2 hours, 5 minutes. So you're not going to watch like a typical 1 hour episode of something, which is something that they kind of had to, something that they kind of had to get out there.
There was no way, unless it was like, oh, the entire finale is the final season. You understand what I'm saying? Like if they did it all in one major go of it, unless they were going to do that, it really didn't seem like they could wrap it all up effectively. And I think if they fuck this up, forget Game of Thrones, like and death threats, like people are going to hunt them down if this is ruined, because people have such a strong tie to this now. And it really hasn't been a letdown yet. So, and it's such a really unique concept too that caught on. Like the way they did it was interesting, but a science fiction thing like this, Star Wars, but typically to this extent for what it has, Dungeons and Dragons and the elements there, people are usually not.
And the retro thing is a big part.
Yes,
the retro thing is a big part of it.
Perfect part of nostalgia.
For those of us out there that think today's world kind of sucks, it's like, remember when shit wasn't so bad, or at least we didn't know shit was so bad.
Riding our bikes to our friends and knocking the wind out of ourselves. Those days are not around, you know.
And it is funny because they're not the same story, but there's a lot of, you could draw a lot of parallels between Welcome to Derry and Stranger Things. But
it shows a lot, you know, it's not straight out parody and it's not a lack of creativity either. What that is almost a love song in a way, but then again, also it's using the best narrative versions of things, and of course there's going to be parallels because you're both writing great stories with really.
If I wanted to do it down to one thing, Stranger Things is more of a sci-fi. Welcome to Derry is more of a horror, but that kind of is self-explanatory. But I do like the idea of it being with the whole conversation, because wrestling sort of tiptoes into the Netflix conversation. But the idea that, oh, when Netflix takes over everything, nothing's going to be in the theater anymore. Well, this is a Netflix show that's doing its finale in the theater. I think they did the same thing. I don't watch Downton Abbey, but apparently they did the same thing with Downton Abbey. For those people out there that like the Knives Out movies that Netflix has done, the third one that's out now called Wake Up Dead Man is in the theater right now. I watched it at home because I chose to watch it at home, but it's doing both. So this whole idea that, oh, we can't let Netflix get too big because it's going to obliterate
Abby
the theater.
had ties to something with the theater too, with their broadcast company, so some of that made sense. But for Netflix to take their finale off of Netflix essentially and air it,
no, they're being released the same day.
No. But I know that. But what I'm saying is like, you know, just to have people not. The whole point of the platform and the show is to get people to watch it on Netflix. You know, they want to drive you to. So the fact that they're doing that at all, where you can go to a movie theater and check it out, is like just a really interesting, cool thing.
It's one of those things where, like, I think, like, Netflix set the stage for every other streaming platform. Like, everybody else is trying to be McDonald's, everybody else is trying to be Netflix.
Yes,
that's my quick and easy comparison.
Oh, you nailed it! You nailed it there. Thank you, sir.
But because it ties to wrestling, we get Netflix news in our feeds all the time, and it's just like, oh, you just love this Netflix thing. I guess you want theaters to die. Do you not know the only other thing that I talk about on this channel is movies, specifically horror movies? Do you not think I want to see these horror movies in the theater? Like, what are we doing here right now? Like, two things can be true. Netflix acquiring more IP so that I can get all my IP in one place and still put things in the theater because they're a company. They're going to want to make money twice if they can. We really got on a Netflix tangent here. I even if it's totally fake, I look at January and I think that January is the furthest thing from boring. I think January is packed in tighter than a nun's asshole, and I'm looking forward to all of it. Now, not only that, there's a rumored AAA pay-per-view in January as well that has not yet been named, where we're apparently getting Ray versus Dom for the mega title. That hasn't been confirmed. And we're getting season 2 of Unreal. Now, I don't watch Unreal, but I know other people watch Unreal, so that's also thrown in there in the mix.
See, I was so excited for that show too initially because I like the fourth wall breaking behind the scenes idea of it, but that's not really what we got. They and you know it as well, like the way it was presented was different.
I didn't watch a single episode of it. I'm not gonna
I'm
lie.
saying no, the way it was presented to people, it was different. Like that's probably why you didn't watch, because of how it was portrayed and the topic at hand. So it was really it was going to connect people, or it wasn't.
The more I watch wrestling, the less I want to know about. Like, obviously, like read the dirt sheets, watch shit like What Culture, come talk with people like us or our friends over at the Wrestling for Life Network. Shout out to them. Like, let's have the conversations about it. Let's speculate about it. But it's like somebody or other. I think it was Wheezy Blonde was like, everybody just shut up. You're all talking like you know what happens backstage and you don't.
Yes.
And people jumped on her. And she's not somebody that I follow. I don't watch a whole lot of her stuff, but I saw the clip and it's like, oh, she just doesn't want anybody to have an opinion. It's like, no, say that your opinion is your opinion. Don't say that your opinion is fact like you go backstage and see it firsthand. I'm pretty sure Mercedes Moné throated herself to 12 or 14 or 16 belts. I don't know. I don't have the tapes. It is what it is. It is what it is. Anyway, that's a quick ramble. That's me subtly, not so subtly, talking about how excited I am about January. I'm excited to see everything we're doing with Chelsea and Ethan. I don't think we
excited. I am looking forward to stuff, don't get me wrong, but as far as story elements go and things being presented, there is just so little substance of note moving forward, sadly. And a lot of times what we get is just that. It really is just a waiting game for us. And it's like, you know, I don't know why they have to take so long in between developments. Like, I'm shocked we did get the reveal of Austin Theory at this point. I honestly didn't foresee them doing that yet, but hey, original word was they were going to hold off until, what do you call it? Until the other thing there.
There's the dichotomy of the reaction of that as well, right? Is like people predicting that it was Austin Theory, and then they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I was right. That was so boring." It's like, okay, they're not telling you like he's the new leader of the group. They're selling it as here's a group of 3. Now they've got 4.
Yes,
that's it. And it's like, okay, he's moderately sort of built like Seth Rollins, so they could tease that it was Seth Rollins for 2 weeks. And the same people that say they drag things out too far are the same people not yourself, I'm saying, but like in general, are the same people that say they drag everything out too far and make us wait too long are the same people that are like, oh, that was really dumb. Why wouldn't they save it for the anniversary? And I'm like, pick a lane.
Yeah. What do you want?
My way of looking at it. And I'm sorry. I'm taking things at face value because the conversations are exhausting. Like, you and I can have good conversations. Our friends over at Wrestling for Life, we can, you know, share some messages with them, have some good conversations. I know you've got your stuff on your channel with Cody and Liz and a couple of other people. Like, we can have decent conversations in our own thing.
Certainly.
But in general, the whole like
it's pretty mind-numbingly frustrating. Yeah,
it's mind-numbingly frustrating because you get something like we just talked about with Thea Hale and Blake Monroe, where it's like, I just said at the beginning, yeah, something happened, and like obviously that was a fuck up. Nobody's gonna say it wasn't a fuck up. Let's not pretend like it's the end of the world. And you get into like 5 seconds into a conversation with somebody, and it's like you went into that show wanting something bad to happen.
Exactly. I joke about what botch because I want the rest to count it as 3. Doesn't mean there wasn't a gigantic mistake made with huge ramifications that's making big issues going forward.
But also, like, we've seen what WWE does, and I'm sure other companies do it too. WWE is just the prime example because it's where I land most of the time. WWE, even when they were doing their shittiest of shit, they always get the credit of, like, if something fucks up at the last minute and they have to do something on a dime, they usually pull out something pretty good on a dime. Whenever that one pay-per-view where everybody was sick and randomly out of nowhere we got AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, and randomly out of nowhere Kurt Angle was a member of the Shield for the night. Like, if they can't give you the story they've been building for whatever reason, or some hurdle gets put up in their way, they will give you something.
Yes.
And even if that something is just a wow for the night, even if that something is a meme of Kurt Angle cosplay as a member of the Shield, even if that one thing is
Bring Dad to work day.
Finn Balor and AJ Styles doing a Bullet Club too sweet and making everybody jizz in their special sock.
And pissing off Vince McMahon.
You're gonna get something. Like, you know what I mean? This is why I look at the
It's funny how angry Vince was with that too, you know, but
oh god.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. But on the other side of the coin, we have people like Mick Foley and Jeff Jarrett and MVP who got up.
Damn it, you're good. I was literally just going to say to you really quick. I said, I know we've got to get into the AAA card, of course, but I'm dying to pick your brain just a little bit because you usually have such a profound, unique stance on things. You're not one to just say fuck you because fuck you. My biggest issue with Foley right now is that, like, this is your bridge too far. I get having whatever ground you want to die on, and these are your morals, fine, but, like, this is what, like, and this is a heinous thing with the Reiner stuff, sure, but this is not WWE's doing either. Like, that's what I feel like is being ignored here. And he's like, oh, because you have time. WWE didn't say this. They didn't go out and be like, oh, there's a... They literally did not. They said to you, "Oh, this is I can't because you have interacted with Trump." Basically, was the claim.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, and this is where I say, like, don't get me wrong, right, left. I've got opinions that'll piss off both sides, so I'm trying not to tread on anybody's toes, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Right now, there's a certain section of the American population, and yes, I'm aware I'm speaking from a privileged position up here in Canada. Don't worry, we've got fucked up shit up here too. Our leader is named Carney for a reason.
Dun, dun.
But you got a certain section of the population that is not going to talk to anybody that's even like 10 steps removed from the guy that beat them. So they're going to pretend that all of a sudden wrestling is political, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say just a few things, and I bounced a couple of these ideas off of the Twitter machine, and I think even your buddy Cody got in there for a bit of it as well.
Indeed.
Sergeant Slaughter turning heel and going anti-American was a thing.
Yeah.
Mr. America was a thing. Hulk Hogan was the muscle behind the machine of the WWE for how many years? What was the name of his song? Real American or American Made, depending on whatever.
Depending on where you were.
Every year, WWE does a show specifically for the troops. Now, is that necessarily political? No, but the troops are based with the government and blah, 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 blah.
Yes,
right? Exactly. It is what it is.
There's a history that shows exactly.
They used to bring up, and they don't do it anymore, but they used to bring up, like, if there was a big, huge pay-per-view or a big, huge gate record or whatever, they used to bring up the mayor or the governor of that city or state or whatever and just say, hey, you know, here's the mayor of New York, and they're so happy to be here and whatever, and now that guy's showing up at AEW. Don't worry about it. That's fine. Like,
but we're happy to have you here. Yeah,
Kane became a mayor. Jesse Ventura became a governor. People are speculating that The Rock or Triple H might run for president. Hulk Hogan was on the Trump victory party, whatever. Can we get off of this?
Triple H is in the White House with Robert Kennedy, the RFK, with the, what do you call it?
Okay, and what's he doing there? He's so evil. They must be doing evil things. Yeah, they're talking about children's health.
Yeah, physical education, you know?
Woo. Linda McMahon, who's completely divorced herself from the company, is on the, like, education board or whatever. So therefore, WWE is bad. Like, get fucked.
That's, and it's so self-aggrandizing and so... just lacking in true morals like this. Like I could see if they were separate and all of a sudden because of the TKO involvements, like now you guys are political. How is this right? Like, but this is
it's
not
always been political.
Exactly.
And
Trump versus was the battle of the billionaires, and you were part of the company when he was there. You know, I know he wasn't political, but still, exactly. Like, there's so many elements here of like, this is not new ground, new territory, new area that hasn't been completely covered before.
But I'm sorry,
but
you wouldn't see this the other way around. Like, I don't remember which tribute to the troops it was, and I'm not saying that this was a bad thing, but they used to have like different leaders and whatever put in their little video tributes and whatever. And I know Clinton was in one of them, and you know, I don't know enough about Clinton as I should, but like Obama was in there as well. What's his name? You know, Zordon Momdani, whatever the fuck, was pictured at the AEW show, and they thought that was like the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, are we pretending that these two things don't already have a connection? Is what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. RFK
like, can we get off of it?
for the Cena farewell. Like, these things are not exclusive to themselves, and it's not
people are mad. Okay, but
new.
these are the same people that are mad that like 5 seconds of an audio clip of Vince talking about Cena was in the Cena final tribute. Like,
should have been the part where he yells out the N-word. What's up? That would have been.
And then you got Booker, you tell me he didn't say that or whatever. It's like, fuck off, man. And it's only because it's, hey, this guy beat us. If it was the other way around, nobody complained about Obama sending in a little video tribute of like, hey, shout out to the troops and whatever. And he was actually on screen. Part of the show, et cetera, et cetera. And then they did like, what was it? Fake Donald Trump versus fake Rosie O'Donnell. Who remembers that?
Yeah.
But like treating it like it's a new, and I hate, and you know what it is? If this was some dickhead saying this, I could let it go, right?
Yeah.
But like, fuck, I used to love Mick Foley.
Exactly.
But he comes off like such a cunt these days. So does Jeff Jarrett, and so does MVP. Those are the three that are hitting the fan just this week, talking about how, oh, I love going to see movies where the hero gets vanquished in the end. I guess you never saw Infinity War. Motherfucking Jeff Jarrett. You got famous for a guitar, eat shit. You announced your retirement in AEW, and they never gave it to you.
They didn't do a damn
thing. Go fuck yourself.
They forgot about you.
Oh, Sting had such a great retirement. Sting, old ass fucking Sting, went out there in his gym clothes so that the Bucks could have Sting's last match on their resume.
And they did it for themselves. What did they do for Sting in that match? What did they do for Sting?
Well, they let his kids come out, and they gave his kid a free contract.
Yeah, they let Darby go through a
MVP
plane of
out there.
glass.
I just want to remind everybody how much nicer it is to work for Tony Khan. How does his fucking boot taste?
Yes.
You fucking shithead. Oh, I left WWE because they had me do this incredibly racist gimmick called the Hurt Business, and it's magically not racist anymore because it's in
There's just
AEW.
Champions. We're not black champions. How dare you not identify us as black? Like you can't win regardless.
It's not like the exact same. Like to the point where they wanted to bring in Cedric Alexander, and Cedric Alexander made a better choice. The exact same gimmick
and then
in
they
a different company.
Him down.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The exact same gimmick it's no longer racist in a different company because now it's in TK land and TK's asshole tastes better.
Yep.
That's all that.
Her business was
you wanted my 2 cents on this. You got about $5.
Yeah.
Let's get into the show.
Woo.
Let's get into the show. We got lots to look forward to in January. I look forward to no longer giving a fuck what MVP or Jeff Jarrett or Mick Foley think.
Thank
you.
How
about that?
Who else wants to retire?
All right. Everybody's going to retire, and everybody's apparently going to be retired by Gunther.
I was just going to say that everybody's going to Gunther, and they're getting their comeuppance now.
So he's going to collect. It's going to be AJ, Cena, Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, and they'll have to pick one more. And here's the pun of the night. It'll be the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh, that activates the good boy protocol. Oh, regardless.
And even that won't be as much of a fisting as MVP takes from the Young Bucks every other Friday and twice on Sunday. Moving swiftly on. Let's talk about, here's what I will say, right? About all the stuff that we have coming up. All this, Raw's doing this, SmackDown's doing this, TNA's doing this. Everybody's angry about everything. WWE's still alive today and people are upset. Do you know why AAA shows are becoming my favorite shows?
Why is
because
that?
I don't have to care.
And that's very true as well. It's
just fun. It is wrestling's version of a cartoon, and I could not be any more complimentary when I say that.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's kind of the thing. Like, so first Cody was kind of asking, he's like, is this always what Lucha's like? He's like, I'm honestly not familiar. I'm not being an ass. Like, I'm genuinely curious. And I'm like, no, this is a lot of it. This is why some people have a bit of an affliction to it because it is very, I don't want to say comical is not the right word, but they do have animated. A lot of, animated but they are funny. They are family oriented. They are like, they have a different style.
Because we haven't had the weekly show, or at least we haven't had the weekly show up here. I don't know what's going on down in Mexico.
Yeah.
But I'm very much experiencing triple. And here, okay, I'm going to pause again. This whole the argument that I'm getting of, oh, you only give a shit about AAA now because it's in the WWE family. okay. There's a lot of people that are watching TNA for the first time because of their association with WWE. I only watched TNA initially in the early days because they had Jeff Hardy, who I knew from WWE.
Yes.
It happens.
And here's the thing,
I'm
though.
Seeing what I...
That's the intent
Do you know
behind
the
it.
only... To this day,
watch.
do you know the... To this... Well, not only that, okay, but, like, you would have, like... If it was something I was interested in, I would have found a way to watch it. Like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's like...
But you don't always have the introduction to it, nor the availability, and that was a problem with a lot of it. We couldn't even see Triple Mania because we weren't in Mexico. Even with the VPN, they had worked it out. Like, this was not happening.
Yeah.
And
but, like,
now
when I
it's
first,
like,
when
hey,
I
that's
when I
not the
first turned
case.
to TNA initially, it was one of my friends, can't remember who it was now. I think it was the one that ended up being a dickhead. You know who you are out there if you're listening. But it's like, have you ever watched TNA? And I'm like, I reacted to it like everybody, oh, TNA, tits and ass, whatever, right? It's like, no, you remember Jeff Hardy? I say, yeah. You remember Jeff Jarrett? Yeah. They're gonna have a ladder match in a 6-sided ring.
Yeah.
Like, okay, what the fuck is this? I gotta watch it. And then you tune in and you see fucking Kevin Nash. You're like, hey, Kevin Nash is still alive.
Yeah, and it's still
I thought he died. LOL.
His quads are still together.
Back in the day. But no, Jeff Hardy got me into TNA the first time around.
Yeah.
Why did I talk about it's a gimmick now we have on here, Destiny Wrestling. Check it off your Spaz Phoenix bucket list. It's fine. You know why I went to my first Destiny show? Because the main event was Pete Dunne versus John Morrison.
Exactly.
Or he would have been like Johnny Destiny or something because he does the name gimmick. But like everybody gets somewhere from something.
That was the entire point of their working together, and now the availability, the access. And I hate how people look at that like it's a bad thing, but yet AEW, oh, they did it, they procured Ring of Honor, and now people are watching that. Oh, wait, they're not, but still.
Oh wait, they're not. They took the least appealing IP that they have and put it behind a paywall.
Yes.
Tony Khan is smart. And then you have, and I hate to say it, you have chained Athena to ROH because if she wasn't there, nobody would be watching it. She's so like she's so overappreciated. She's so overappreciated in ROH as a way of unappreciating her in AEW, because the only time you bring her up to a proper AEW show is when you need to do something with Mercedes, either a really good match or a tag team situation or whatever. The rest of the time, you have anchored ROH to her with your ROH Plus or whatever the fuck it is. But this argument of, oh, you only ever watch AAA because it's associated with WWE now. Okay. Bring me a bad argument. What are we doing here? What are we doing? I'm doing the KJ from over our again, I'll say our friends at Wrestling for Life, but he has a great what are we doing here? What are we doing?
It makes you wonder. It really does. And I fail to understand what they're going for.
You're no more or less of a fan of something because of when you started watching it.
Yeah.
Now,
that doesn't make you a more diehard fan. Yeah.
If you're an old school fan of something and you see somebody who's just getting into it, it's like, oh, hey, when did you start watching? Like, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Like, it should be an open arm thing.
You would think.
Like wrestling, the universal language. I watched like I said, the last AAA show wasn't in English, but I'll watch it. Okay, this is going to be the cheesiest fucking thing I say in this pod. I'm saying that twice now. Like, there is a language of wrestling.
Yeah. And it is
like
definitely
heel behavior, face behavior.
Yeah.
Even if you don't understand what the commentators are saying, you can sense excitement. You can sense, disappointment. You can sense frustration in the crowd, a pissed off crowd, an excited crowd.
Ballet and different, types of dance and same idea. You can go ahead and present.
I don't need
a way.
I don't need a translator to know that. No, regardless of what we think of him up here, Alberto Del Rio is over as fuck down there. And vice versa, Vikingo is not. But I don't need a translator to tell me that.
No.
You know what I mean? Anyways, let's get into the match. Or let's get into the matches because it's got more shows than typical.
We've got 7 on this card, and I imagine you're going bottom up with the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match.
I've actually got a weird order because I don't know. Because of the change to one of the matches, I don't know what the main event is going to be anymore. So I'm going to kind of be all over the map here. We got a 4-way tag match. Los Americanos, which is Bravo and Rayo, Rayo is taking on Javon Evans on Raw next week. So that's a whole lot of stuff going on. Versus Mr. Iguana and Nino Hamburguesa versus La Parca and Octagon Jr. versus the LWO, which is Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. Here's what I want to say before we get into this. I'm leaning towards the LWO only because there's a little bit of me that's saying, like, what is the LWO right now? Because Ray's doing his own thing with Dom right now. Dragon Lee's doing his thing with AJ Styles. Vega's now with Aleister Black.
Yeah.
So the LWO is just Cruz and Joaquin. And they're hardly ever on mainstream WWE TV. They found themselves a bit of a home on the AAA, I guess you could say the AAA brand now. They never really get focus, but they're always solid. They're always reliable. They're always all those nice words that we throw out. So as much as I like some of the other people involved, I like Mr. Iguano, Nina Hamburguesa, Octagon Jr., La Parca, and the Los Americanos is just kind of fun. I'm kind of pulling for these guys to get a win just because they don't get very much, and I think they should.
I don't
have anything else to base it on. I don't know where this match. This is the other thing I was going to say, because AAA just being the fun thing that we watch. My other point on that was going to be, we're kind of watching lists like we watched early days takeovers, where you didn't necessarily get every week of television because you didn't need to get every week of television.
No, you kind of pick up on what the story was,
kind of
what was going on.
Pick up on which matches have been announced and kind of go from there. That's
you
very
use
much
enough
what we have to
common
do.
sense too, like you said, where it's like, you know who the heels are, you know who the bad guys are, you know who the faces are, who's doing what. You can
now,
usually
I don't know
get
if that's
into
gonna
it fairly well, but
with this new deal for the weekly AAA show, is it going to be English commentary as well?
I think they're gonna. That hasn't been addressed yet, so that's one of the things I want further clarified as well. Because if they're going to have it airing on Fox and it's only the overseas thing, fine. But are they going to go ahead and touch it up afterwards, where they let people? You know, so I'm curious. I am curious to see what.
No, I'm just thinking because Corey Graves is sort of the voice of AAA for the English commentary, but he's got other stuff. Like if there's a pay-per-view that night or whatever the case may be, there could be a bit of a shuffle there. We could get, by God, we could get some more JBL in there.
I think it would be fun though to have him be the official voice, and then they can have people sub in, but they don't have to have him live. They could do like a on location or pre-recorded version as well.
That's true.
So
yeah, it is, and it's no disrespect to the commentators involved. I used to listen to the Taz show back when the Taz had his morning show before he went to AEW, and they talked about all the time, like, oh, SmackDown was taped on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday we'd go in to do the voiceovers in studio for the commentary, him and Cole, and he always talked about, like, you can be the greatest commentator in the world. If you're watching something after the fact, you're not getting a genuine reaction.
And that's very true.
I kind of like that with the launch of AAA, they really have sort of handed this to Corey and let this be his thing.
Yes. Because you need somebody to have something regularly. Like, so that's how you develop the care that's needed to be with the characters.
He's an appreciated member of the commentary team in WWE in general, but it is different to get something and get told, like, hey, this is going to be your thing. We just acquired this new thing. We want to make sure it gets out there properly, and we think you can do that.
Yeah.
There's a different level of investment in him as a commentator. So I hope he kind of gets to hold on to that with both hands. You can swap people out here and there, have a maybe somebody guest on color, maybe JBL one week, and they've had Conan in there in the past, and whatever the case may be. But I hope it stays sort of being Corey's thing. I'm going with the LWO just because it'll kind of feel good. It's a pile of people match. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Probably the starter, maybe.
So I believe this is going to kick off the show, and I honestly think, because this is Saturday, Raw's not, it's going to be taped, but it's airing like it's live, and that's when the Rayo match is. So I was almost thinking that they were going to have Bravo and Rayo get the win here with the help of Los El Grande Americano for Los Americanos. I like Mr. Iguana, and, obviously the hamburger's fun, but the rest of it, the Latin World Order, they've done nothing with. Like you said, they've been severe afterthoughts and just, hey, we're putting the Latin guys on the Latin show. It'd be nice to see them win.
I just think Cruz and Joaquim are those guys. We haven't been seeing them very often, but like every little scrap of like, you know, the old JR thing, like make your minutes count and whatever. I think they are so good at that I don't know. I don't think they're going to win. I want them to get the win because I think they deserve it, and I think they've kind of been overlooked.
Yeah,
I'm kind of surprised.
I don't see them winning.
I'm kind of surprised that
they
haven't stuck Berto and Angel in here as well, because they were sort of staples down at AEW, or sorry, not AEW, AAA for a while as well. They picked up the titles for a hot second before they went to our other favorite team. Sticking with big pile of people matches. Natalia, Lola Vice, and Fabi Apache taking on Los Toxicas, which is Flamer, La Hydra, and Maravella. We get to see more Loki legend Natty and Lola Vice on the same team.
Why are we only getting Natty in AAA? Like they did the whole she's training Maxine, you know. I'm saying though, for WWE though, we're not seeing her elsewhere, or we're seeing her elsewhere, not in their main roster. Like it's so confusing to have this character that's so beloved by the fans right now and over.
It's almost
as a badass, and they're not using it.
It's almost Demon Finn Balor levels of like let's just do two different personalities at this point.
Two different people, two different, but even the demon got so over that people were getting upset when they weren't doing the demon thing. And
but then the demon fell off the top rope and lost.
Well, God intervened. That was the problem. God. Remember, they said Jesus that it was Jesus. Yeah, it was. That it was, you know, God.
That's right. When he did the whole I'm in God mode now. Whatever.
Yes. They did say that it was God that enabled him to get the victory there. So funny enough. But yeah, no, all joking aside with this crazy shit. Natalia not being
I really like Lola Vice.
Crazy. And I like Lola Vice as well.
I still land on the whole, because I haven't heard anybody else as of yet.
She's still
think it's she's fun for sure, and she's got personality for days. But the whole idea that she was the first one to get a dual contract. She has an NXT contract and a separate AAA contract, so she's actually contracted to WWE twice. There's something there.
They should be wise, she should be playing with that. That's what I'm saying. Should. Like, I don't see how they're not. It's baffling.
I'm not gonna lie. I like a team with a name.
Yes,
and that's basic wrestling shit. Los Toxicas is kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
Not the worst thing. I mean, we had our Chemical X at one point and lost him, so we might as well get into the AAA version, right?
Oh my God. Can you imagine if Chemical X were all still in NXT and they showed up in TNA?
There's so much missing in AAA, yeah. But there's so much missing with that it's baffling to me, but I don't know. They lost a lot with those.
I know Gigi Dolan came out recently. It was posted up on the okay, yeah. What's his name? Effie, who said she tried to convert me and it didn't work or whatever. Yeah. But no, part and parcel with that, there was an interview that came out that apparently she was not doing so well mental health wise.
Yeah.
Both in NXT and after she left NXT. So it sounds like things are coming around for her in that regard.
Which is great.
All joking aside, all face riding aside, I like Gigi Dolan. I like what's her name? Priscilla Kelly. She was our Destiny champion for a cup of coffee before what's her name? Giselle Shaw put it into that. But I hope they're all doing well. Shotzi's doing
Unfortunately, that kind of seemed to be a regular sentiment for a lot of people in NXT at that point in time. The one,
you don't want to hear that shit.
The one with Roxanne Perez. I always forget her name now. Oh my goodness. She was let go.
Oh, Cora Jade?
Cora Jade, Jesus, I could never remember it. Yeah. You know, she's another one that said there was a lot of bullying and issues backstage and problems. Yeah. So, I mean, anything is certainly possible. And we know the wrestling industry is not kind to the talent usually mentally. So,
but it shouldn't be as accepted a thing as it is.
No, it shouldn't be. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad people are at least speaking on it in some regard and being like, this isn't right. You know, like we have to change.
And it is nice, like whatever the case may be, and like. Obviously, I'd rather they still be employed and still get that big platform and whatever. But it is nice to hear people from that point of view have a, hey, I was in a really bad spot, but I'm coming out the other side of it. Is always kind of cool to hear.
Forward.
I know Shotzi's doing not only the wrestling stuff, but she's still doing like the horror related content with Charlotte Bordeaux, and I think Gigi and her had a match somewhere recently. I'm sad that it wasn't
over
at
the
Destiny,
weekend, I believe,
but
and they're everywhere too. So that's really cool that they're just being utilized constantly and having a really good go of it. I appreciate that, and I think that's a welcome change too. Is that you see people succeeding without, like, yeah, we made the face riding joke because it stands out, but like she's done so many crazy matches. She just put out this
when
vlog
both characters are joking about it, like I don't know the FE guy. I've seen him mentioned on like socials and whatever. I don't know anything about
is like,
the guy.
oh, I'm as gay as it gets, and that's the whole point. So like FE's big gay
but
parties.
But by him coming out after the fact, is like, yeah, look how hard she tried conversion therapy on me, but don't worry, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they put something like that out there, then it's just that reinforcement of we're having a good time with this. We want you guys in on the joke.
Exactly.
And it makes it better for everybody because I don't think
that's what winning looks like.
Yeah, but I don't like wrestling doesn't need to be safe. Like wrestling should go into those areas. Like we did a thing a while ago about Rhea Ripley and MJF talking about mental health stuff, and they should touch on those things. And you should touch on uncomfortable topics so that uncomfortable topics in general become comfortable topics. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. You got to normalize it somehow.
Exactly. So once you see them joking about it, we know we're in on the joke. Now it's a conversation that can happen. I'm going to try and bring us back down to the actual match. I'm going with Team Lola Vice.
I agree. I don't see Natty losing. It's good to see them getting time here. They're like, at least they're being utilized in some regard. Yeah. She's not forgotten about by any means. I mean, that could be the WWE
this is the thing about the branching out as well. And I don't want to keep like tooting my horn on this because I know I've talked about it on a lot of pods now. But like they've got AAA. They do stuff with Noah. They just had the Hank and Tank over in Noah, as well as Charlie Dempsey, and Omos was over in Noah for a while. A bunch of different people have done Bloodsport. And yes, there's a ragtag bunch of NXT misfits invading TNA right now. But you know what? All these new places means nobody's really doing nothing.
Exactly. And at least it's fun.
It's like, okay, we don't have anything for you right now, but we can find somewhere else for you to have something.
Yeah, and people are enjoying themselves in the meantime. They're not just, like you said, not being able to do nothing. And that's the unfortunate side of it. Like, you don't want to see people that can't do anything or just never utilized, never brought out, never, whatever it might be.
And the thing is, like, you take somebody who's doing nothing right now, like Charlie Dempsey's not really doing anything on NXT. And the High Rise were kind of sort of rudderless after Wes Lee left, ironically back to TNA. But now, like, if they hit upon something while they're doing this invasion angle in TNA that works, you can bring that thing that worked back home to NXT or even to the main roster type of thing. Like the Tyson and Tyreek show up on Raw to challenge the Viking Raiders for reasons.
No, yeah,
big
no
meaty
doubt.
Men slapping meat.
Yeah.
All right, moving quickly on because I'm going to take up all your time tonight. Where do I want to go next? We've already talked about him a lot tonight. Let's give Ethan Page another belt because he's facing our favorite name in AAA, El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. for the AAA Latin American Championship. There's a Bring Me the Chaos part of my brain that wants to see Ethan Page walking around with 3 belts because the same people that praise the girl with 14 are going to freak out about him having 3.
Yeah, and the belts that don't Velcro, he has snaps like a big boy, as he said. Yeah, this is...
Did he say that, really?
He did indeed.
Nice.
This has been a shit ton of fun, and I really have enjoyed Dragon Lee with AJ Styles. It's kind of reinvigorated me on him. El Hijo being there is a hell of a case too. You know, it's like
wait a minute.
Oh no, you're on Dr. Wagner, Ethan Page. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong. Yeah,
we're looking at a different Hijo.
Yes, with him winning this
Dr.
belt,
Wagner Jr.
And you just said it too. My brain reread it and was like, "Yep, that's right." So with this being my number 1, that's why we're in a different order. So you said,
we're looking at the same page. I'm just messing up the order.
So Ethan,
we're looking at the exact same page. I'm pretty sure
should win this. I think he should be a triple champ. I think they could use him in every regard right now. Soak it up while you have him. Some people are like, oh, we'll spread the wealth. I don't think that's needed. I feel like he is it right now. He's one of the best characters, one of the best heels, he consistently is funny. You want to see him get screwed over. There is so much to him and his excellence. He's had, the iguana, now he's got a moose on the loose. Like it's
but think about this as well, though, right?
Entertaining.
Think about this as well, right? We talked about this at the beginning of the pod, but right now, Ethan Page has a title defense set up against Moose. They collectively are going to be defending those tag titles against Dax and Ariana Grace at some point.
Yes.
And Chelsea Green is going to defend her title against Sol Ruca. You know what I hear? You know what I think of when I hear Chelsea Green is going to defend the title against Sol Ruca? At some point in that match, on the outside, Zarya is going to deck Ethan Page.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's going to be hilarious.
And Ethan could even distract Sol for the victory. I mean, we've seen them work together well so far. So
I don't know. And I believe it or not, I don't just want this to be like WWE takes everybody's belts, but Ethan Page, even for like one cycle, and then Wagner comes back like on the next NXT and wins his title back because of an interference from Moose, who's looking for a different title. Like the moving parts shtick of WWE right now, so many of those moving parts revolve around Ethan Page and Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really awesome thing for them.
I'm really big on Ethan Page as well, obviously. And him being a triple champ is a really, really big accolade. That's something really cool. And like you said, it only brings more attention to AAA. It doesn't need to be a long-term thing. And him holding the belt,
working with Chelsea has turned him up to another level, though, as well. Like I think,
really has.
Like you can't leave her on the back, and we're not doing that because she's not in a match on this particular show.
Exactly,
but like,
she's still going to be there. She's still going to be a threat and in his corner. And I like that we know that they have the match eventually, and he'll be there for her. It's a really good way for them to work together. They don't need to be a couple. They just have the same ideas
would be interesting.
What's that?
Because they're pretty likable characters, even though we think they're going to break up, would it be an interesting twist in the mix if El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. has Sol Ruca and Zarya in his corner for this match?
Right. I mean,
because Chelsea will be in Ethan's corner because she's the other half of the AAA mixed tag champion. So it makes sense for her to be there, which means that what's her name? Alba Fire will also be there.
Yes.
So you get a scrap on the outside, Alba Fire and Chelsea Green versus Zarya and
I would absolutely do
Ruca.
I would,
or they just throw that match on there as an extra, like as an 8th match.
Yeah,
and it becomes the most most matched pay-per-view WWE's given us in a while, and it happens to be a AAA show.
Right.
Paige is getting the win.
I want to think so. I do agree with you here. And Dr. Wagner's kind of stale with what he's got going on right now, if you ask me. I mean, it's just been.
I like the Halloween Havoc match that they had.
That was good, but then everything else since for Wagner has been kind of stale away from Page. So I'd like to see Page win the belt. He's got to chase it back, and then they can from there. Like Wagner was better working with Page than he wasn't. So yeah, I feel like he was really starting to get over with the fans by working with Page. All
right. And just to scratch it off the list, we'll go from one Hijo to another.
Yes.
El Hijo del Vikingo taking on Dragon Lee after he turned heel on Dragon Lee at the last show.
Yeah,
and then
surprisingly.
Rey Mysterio had to break them up, and Rey Mysterio suddenly became like the general manager for a night and said,
"That's kind of what they're doing here." You know, they're going to continue that, I guess, with the weekly TV show where Rey is kind of the spokesperson for it right now. And
I'm writing for AAA, but I ain't going every week. Rey, go tell them some stuff.
Exactly. You know, and I really think like that's what it's going to be. Like, hey, we got this going on, and Rey, go out there and tell the fans they're going to love it. That's pretty much how I feel.
This was an audition for Wife Swap. Think about this, though, right? NXT is run by Shawn Michaels, and the GM is Ava. AAA is run by The Undertaker, but the GM is Rey Mysterio.
So my wife will take AAA too. I just don't have our long damn buttons. But yeah, I think this one with Dragon Lee is quite interesting. I like the pairing with him and AJ. It's worked well. The AJ Lee pairing is a joke initially, but it did work. And I like that.
I like the fact that they tried to push so far the other way and call it Dragon Style instead of AJ Lee.
They were doing something phenomenal, whatever, recently. So phenomenally.
Can I? Phenomenal Dragon.
Yeah, like I think it was
Imagine Dragons.
phenomenally or whatever. It wasn't great, but
Welcome to the new day. To the new day. Anyways, oh, why do I know Imagine Dragon?
yeah, I think we're getting the other way here. I think Dragon Lee loses, and especially with the new heel turn, they're gonna try and capitalize on that a bit. That's my guess.
No, man, I feel like I'm the only one, but I liked Vikingo before I started watching AAA because, as I said, I saw a little bit of him he was featured nicely in TNA. They usually manage to squeeze him into stuff like the Ultimate X and things like that.
Not to be condescending, but AEW did nothing with him. They introduced him. I'm like, oh, he should be a big deal. And he was a really good wrestler, but they didn't really, they just had him put on a few good matches and then it was it. And good matches
before
are good,
I knew who he was,
no substance.
Before I knew who he was, the very first time I saw him, before he even came back to TNA, was his debut AEW match, which, to be fair, was against Kenny Omega.
Yeah,
and
it was so good. And then
that's not a bad thing.
Was that for the Impact title?
I don't remember. To be
I
honest with you,
it was.
But it is one of those things. Like, because I don't care what happens in AEW, and I'm just going to be blunt about that.
How dare
when
you?
I get a when I get a good match, I'll just say, hey, that was a good match. If it makes any sense, if it doesn't make any sense, I'm going to assume that it doesn't because it's AEW. But I mean, El Hijo del Vikingo and Kenny Omega gave us a great match, great introduction to that character that I've never seen before. And then he showed, like I say, he showed back up in TNA in stuff like the Ultimate X. And you know what's amazing? I know that, everybody gets accused of ripping off everything, and AEW rips off more than their fans are willing to admit. If they were going to rip off anything, do you not think that they would rip off something like Ultimate X?
You would think.
With the amount of friggin' gymnasts they have in that company. And the two guys running
that's where they would go first with things.
They'll do some weird fucking like scaffold match. Oh, it's in the ECW arena, so the scaffold is the actual scaffold.
The scaffold.
Here's the thing, though. Like, Dragon Lee is great. He's a champion at the moment. El Hijo del Vikingo, I really enjoy. I know it makes sense to say you just turned heel. You might as well get a win to like prove that turning heel was the right move and all that kind of thing.
This was the right
from a storytelling point of view. As a match that I'm going to watch on the night, I'm really not bothered who wins this.
Okay, I understand. I just think I get that.
It's one of those like match for match's sake. I'm looking forward to the match instead of the result.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Which is a really half-assed answer, but it's the one you're getting.
Hey, it's an acceptable answer to me, sir.
Yes. So now we go to another title match. Probably low key one of the most, like, other than the one that is exactly made for me.
Yes.
It's one of the ones that I'm looking forward to the most on Saturday, even though there's a third wheel in here, pun intended, with Jack Cartwheel. Laredo Kid defending the AAA Cruiserweight Championship against both Javon Evans and Jack Cartwheel. I'm sorry, we're stealing another belt for NXT here.
Feels that way, yeah.
Because I want Javon Evans. I want Javon. We did this before. We didn't get a chance to sit down and talk about John Cena's last match.
No.
And that match and all that sort of thing, where I did all my conspiracy theory stuff. Javon Evans didn't get the NXT title. Big conspiracy. Everybody thought it was dumb. Rah. I think you're going to have him and Leon Slater as a pair of individual champions before they become tag champions. And if one of them's the X Division champion, the other one being a cruiserweight champion, it just fits.
Yes.
I'm not saying Javon Evans can't be an NXT champion. And I'm not saying him being an NXT champion is necessarily a bar to him going up to the main roster.
Yeah.
But him coming down to AAA, hanging out with the Luchadors, showing his stuff off with the Luchadors, and being a cruiserweight champion, it feels like it fits.
It
really feels like it's not going to be a downgrade as well. Laredo Kid is another one that I saw a lot of in TNA, because TNA had a deal with AAA before WWE was involved with either of them. So there was a lot of lucha. That's how I saw guys like Vikingo as well. I don't just say, let's snatch the belt away from him as a dig on him.
No.
And Jack Cartwheel is there to make up the numbers and eat the pin. Whether Laredo Kid retains or Javon Evans becomes your new champion, I will put all the money in the house on Jack Cartwheel eating the pin, and then us getting to just Laredo Kid versus Javon Evans.
Yeah, no kidding.
But Javon Evans coming out of this with a belt, absolutely.
That'd be great.
Javon and Leon are going to pick up tag team titles, and I don't know whether they're going to be NXT titles, TNA titles, or main roster titles. And I'm fine with any of those directions.
Yeah, I feel like Laredo Kid retains here, and Javon, if he's going to win a title, it's going to be on NXT before it's here. Like you may not be wrong. It'd be big for him to win a title at AAA, but I feel like really it should be like, oh, he either got the NXT title or he gets moved up.
But I think here's the thing as well. This is where you got to think from like the promotional point of view, which is not always the fun point of view to look at, right?
No,
you put a title on Javon Evans. Look at how they feature Dominic Mysterio right now, right?
Yes.
You want to get AAA some recognition, even when it's not on a AAA show. You get a guy like Javon Evans, who's technically still in NXT, but he's getting featured on the main roster and he's getting featured in TNA. That's your company being featured 4 places instead of 1. And especially, like I say, I keep going back to this because I really do think they want it to take off. It's their newest acquisition. Dominic is popular. He's their champion. That video package for the new weekly show has Dom, the most prominently featured guy in the video.
Yeah.
Javon Evans, I'm sorry, is one of, if not the most over young guys in NXT. And he's one of the most accepted crossover guys in TNA.
Yeah.
How do you not, how they always say in AEW, like, how is Willow Nightingale not your merchandising machine?
Yeah.
How is Javon Evans not your marketing machine?
And there is certainly something to be said about it, like.
Plus, I really like Javon, and I want like, I don't want to say kid because he's like a shit ton younger than I am, and it sounds really disrespectful.
It sounds like you're being condescending, but you're not. Yeah.
I want good things for this kid. Like everything that is in his path, I hope he picks it up along the way.
You and me both, like so much so.
So let's talk about a kind of disappointing turn of events.
Okay.
Los Gringos Locos 2.0, or Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano, taking on no longer the reunited Lucha Brothers because of what happened to Penta on Raw a couple of weeks ago, and it turns out he's not going to be able to make it for this Saturday. But he will be there. He will be in the corner of his brother Rey Fenix and Rey Mysterio.
Yes, King Mysterio is still involved, so
he made a big point of saying, I will be in their corner. I'll be more than honored for my brother to get a chance to team with somebody we respect so much like Rey Mysterio for the very first time. Very, very respectful like post that he put out there to sort of announce, hey, I won't be there. Hey, here's what's happening instead. Tons of respect for Rey, obviously. It's going to be really cool to see my brother get to tag with Rey. I'll still be in their corner. Obviously, zero fear, zero miedo, and all that kind of stuff. Not quite the reunion we wanted, but it means that down the line, WWE will still have the opportunity to do that. Hey, the Lucha Brothers for the first time ever type of thing.
Yeah.
I think it has to be against the Usos at some point. I really do. Has nothing to do with this show, but
if they're bringing them back as a real tag team and they're not going to have them just break up and have Jay attack, Jimmy, then I want to see them eventually face off. I'm really disappointed that obviously Penta got hurt because him and Rey being the Lucha Bros is what everybody desperately wants to see, and we're certainly missing out on something here. But still a great match. Rey being involved works with the Dominic, obviously. Los Gringos Locos 2.0 is funny.
Yeah, it is. With the rumor that we're getting Rey versus Dom in January, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Rey pins Dom here.
Yeah.
And then in January, he puts over his son, solidifying him as the mega champion, and then maybe announces his retirement. And hey, I'm the GM of AAA now.
Yeah. Seems like that's going to be
kind of a cool spot for Rey Fenix. If you remember that Rey Fenix got to participate in WrestleMania because Rey was injured and he took his place. So now Penta's injured and Ray comes in to be Ray Phoenix's partner. There's a little bit of a what comes around goes around in that regard.
Really feels like such.
But you can't get no disrespect to anybody involved. You can't get around the fact that this is a make good for the match that we thought we were.
It definitely is.
Which is kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. There's no way it would be better than what was planned, and that's realistically unfortunate. That's the only way to look at it.
But it does mean we get to keep anticipating that reunion a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because Penta's featured pretty damn well on Raw. Ray has been sort of start-stop, and a lot of that had to do with him teaming with Andrade, and then Andrade, thinking he could get around contract law. So he he got fucked over, and he didn't have anything to do with it, is my point. You know what I mean? Like, apparently they had a plan. I liked them. Like, they had maybe 3 matches. I liked them as a tag team.
Yeah, no, I thought it worked.
There was that whole running gag for a while where they were tag teaming Penta and Ray with anybody but each other.
Yeah.
And there was a time on Raw and on SmackDown where it's like, okay, you guys are just taking the piss now. Like, what's going on?
You guys have you've done it here. Yeah, exactly.
But it is what it is. And I mentioned it. Guys, cards on the table. My birthday is next Monday. This is 2 days before my birthday.
Yeah.
This is WWE's present to me. Pagano, Psycho Clown, Murder Clown, and Dave the Clown with Panic Clown in their corner, taking on the entire Wyatt Six.
Clowns for days.
Clowns for days, Wyatts for days.
I'm happy with the Wyatt entrance. This should be fun. Hopefully it is just that, and it's a goddamn good time. And that's all we get of it.
Pull his face off. I want to see Psycho Clown. I just thought of this right now. I want to see Psycho Clown pull his face off, and then Uncle Howdy unmasks for the first time.
Ooh, right.
For the stare down.
Yeah. Make it an epic.
But I love, and people that know me are going to say, oh, of course you fucking love it. I love weird shit. Yes, I do.
Yes, indeed. But
yes, I do.
The horror elements are fun.
We just had an entire tangent about The Walking Dead, or not The Walking Dead, sorry. That's an old thing to talk about now. About Stranger Things and Welcome to Derry. This is Team Vecna versus Team Pennywise.
I like it. I'll take it.
I really like. I don't know who Panic Clown is. Is Panic Clown a chick?
I'm not sure either. That's what we need.
If Panic Clown is a chick, then we're gonna get Panic Clown versus Nikki Cross on the outside, and then Nikki Cross and Panic Clown are gonna go against who is the Arena de Reinas champion right now?
That's a good question.
I should know this and I don't. I should know this and I don't. But anyways, spooky people doing spooky shit. And this is the most I don't care who wins ever. This is going to be a fuck ton of fun.
Yeah.
They announced this and then they announced the date. And I'm like, this is my birthday present. This is my birthday present.
This is for me.
Yes. It's for me? You did it for me?
It's your present. Yeah, this is going to be great. Going to be a lot of fun for this match. I'm excited for it. And I think the Six win, obviously.
Maybe. I don't know, because I'm assuming at one point this was rumored to be a tag title match. And then it was, is it for the AAA titles or is it for the SmackDown titles? Does this set us up for a smaller, more concentrated match later on down the line, either title for title or for one of the title belts? Don't know. This is being billed as a Carnival of Carnage match. It still sounds way better than Anarchy in the Arena. I'm putting it out there. After just watching Pennywise, if all the clowns come out in a big giant circus wagon with somebody playing the trombone, people that have watched Derry get the reference. And they act like they're walking across a foggy, icy patch. Or if they just come out dressing upside down, like they're from the upside down. That would also be fun. I'm scrambling now because I don't have any idea what these guys are going to do. And that's really fun. And it's going to be really stupid. It's going to be really dumb, stupid, quasi-supernatural wrestling goodness that I will get from a AAA show. And all the people that are allergic to fun will roll their eyes. I'm I'm thinking of like the Sidgwicks and the Murrays and the 206s, and all the people that are they're messing up this business are gonna have aneurysms and probably shouldn't watch the show and should probably have their eyes pulled out so I can piss on their single digit IQ brains. I'm looking really forward to this, and I'm smiling the more I talk about it. Hey, what else we got?
I think that's everything. It's going to be a hell of a time. It should be a good match.
I lost you for a second there, didn't I?
You did indeed, but that's all right. We recovered. Yeah, look at that. The team has been around since 2007 for our Psycho Circus here. Los Psycho Circus. And I was trying to look up Psycho Clown, Monster Clown, and Murder Clown. Psycho Clown, it's a he, not a she. So I am sorry to let you down.
I was saying Panic Clown.
Oh, Panic Clown. Yes. Oh, that one's not listed. We got to find out.
Okay.
How dare they?
We're doing this in real time, and it's riveting for everybody listening.
Exactly.
Should have planned this out better. Should have brought my questions to the table in advance. This is not a good meeting.
And Panic Clown is a he, so I was correct.
All
I just read it wrong as the Psycho.
All right. Well, maybe they go the TNA route and actually we get some intergender action going on there. But who knows? Maybe Jordan Grace comes in and bench presses a clown.
Muscle Mommy's here. Don't you fear.
Reasons. All the clowns and all the creeps are wrestling. All of a sudden, out comes Zarya, Rhea Ripley, and Jordan Grace. And they just bench press everybody. And that's how we
now is Muscle Mommy going to turn on Thea? People are thinking that's what happens, but I don't see it. Could be interesting, though.
I think Jordan Grace, if used properly, could stow Thea Hale safely in the overhead compartment.
Yeah.
So let's get to that. Let's get to that when we get to it. But this is going to be a shit ton of fun. I booked the Monday off because it's my birthday. If anybody wants to berate me with tweets about getting old and such. But I'm assuming you're doing a live after this. And if you are, I'll join you.
Yes, indeed.
That will be the plan anyways. Was not able to join you after Saturday night's main event because family stuff and holiday stuff and all the things. But everybody was very, very, very normal about John Cena's last match. And they were very, very, very normal about everything leading up into that. And they were very, very, very normal that much like in politics, the guy that's winning got booed.
Yeah, it is. Hey, it happens. But at least the fans
call him Papa H because he's AEW's daddy.
The fans really went ahead and made sure Cena felt the love, right? At the end there. Oh God, I was like, I wish they could have just held together for Cena's sake. That really would have been the ideal.
All the people that are complaining that, oh my God, they did Cena so wrong, are the same people that have been bitching about his whole career for the past 20 years.
Yeah. Literally the exact same. So
just tell me you just wanted to bitch about WWE. It's fine. Nobody's going to call you on it because it's 2025 and everything's stupid.
And everybody wants to have that same opinion.
People are stealing packages off of other people's porches and then complaining to the police that they got paint bombed. 2025 is not smart.
No, but
I'm just putting it out there.
We're gonna keep eating other people's food. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, the chick that pepper sprayed the food and then got caught, and then
I was afraid of a spider.
You filmed me without my knowledge. I should sue you. Actually, how dare you hold me accountable for my actions?
Because I tried to poison you.
Okay. Before I get on a 2025 rant that I definitely could do, that would definitely get me kicked off of at least YouTube. Thank you, Rumble, for giving me another platform.
Yay.
Jake, tell them what's going on your side of things and tell them where they can find you.
That's right. On your birthday, it looks like that's when we're going to be having our big Christmas office party. So hopefully we'll be able to have you join us and be the guest of honor. But we're going ahead and tonight we'll be playing some games. We'll be having some fun. We'll be making some predictions. It's going to be a great time. YouTube.com/Jake DeMarco. Go ahead and check us out there for all of our AEW, WWE, NXT, TNA, AAA, whatever you want to call it, coverage. Find us on old Twitter/X, Instagram, and Rumble, all at Countdown Ended. And then you can also go ahead and find us on, that's right, TikTok. It's Jake.CountdownEnded. So make sure you go ahead and check us out over there as well.
Bam. And you guys know where to find me or you wouldn't be here. I've been Spaz. This has been Jake. This has been the production the predictions, I can speak, I swear, for AAA Guerra de Titan 2025. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I am tagging out. Bye, guys.
Damn clown.